Hello and welcome to Black Cats Chat, the international fans podcast for Sunderland AFC. My name is Lee. I'm from the Bilbao Black Cats, and today we've got another NASA SAFC takeover. Once again, they can't keep them away. This time we've got Max Gad. Max is in Denver, Colorado. Max, we were talking just off air there. The last time you were on was Coventry pre-show in the playoffs. How are you, mate? All good?
Great. Thanks for having me back, and Happy New Year, and always be great to doing this after a win. It's a lot more fun.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because, I think the last time you did it, we might have got beat like last year or 2 years ago against Blackburn or Stoke or something like that.
That's right. Blackburn, good memory.
Yeah, and we were criticizing my Ender for his one-on-one misses.
Very good. Nothing gets past you, brother.
No, it doesn't. Wait till you see what I've got for Pete. But no, it's great to see you. I suppose like family life's good because you had a child. No, yeah.
I've got two girls now, so chasing around my little kids, and I've got my wife watching them now. I said, nobody comes in here for the next hour. Okay, this hour is mine. We'll see how those promises are kept. We might be interrupted.
No, I've got the same problem here, but mine are 7-11. But luckily, I've got Pokemon and Amazon Prime Video subscription, so that should keep them quiet for an hour.
Perfect.
Anyway, our other guest is, as you can hear the voice in the background, you can't miss that laugh anywhere. It's Pete Shawler. Pete originally from Chester. Yeah, you're originally from Chesley Street, Pete, but you live in Washington State. He's got his Vaux Club. Pete, we know the answer, but how are you feeling?
You know, I'm better than I deserve, Lee. I've got to say that. But after today's performance, over the moon, God, you know, it's just buzzing. It puts you in a great state. And it's great to have the AFCON lads all back and just the full squad available, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Brilliant.
And it's nice to get back to winning ways well after all those bloody draws, isn't it?
It is. Aye. It most definitely is.
But anyway, Pete, listen. I did say I was going to get you, and I've been meaning to do this for a very long time, but I always keep forgetting to do it when you come on. So on the last episode you were on, I think I kind of like listed off all of your previous qualifications and jobs in coaching, which was pretty impressive. But I see that now you've been getting yourself into TV commercials and advertisements. So,
Aye.
So go on then. Let's explain this one then.
Well, ESPN Plus cover a lot of the college games and the local games around here.
Well, as you can see, people banging down the door to try and get home with Q Home Loans. Don't be left behind. Give us a call today.
So, Lee, you didn't tell me we had celebrities on this pod. This is crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
a legend in my own bath time.
So yeah, you're trying to sell mortgages now, are you as well?
Well, I just helping some friends out. You know what I mean? You want a little bit of banter and some just improv. So I'm happy to help where I can.
I was going to say I was going to play you in the film, but you just play yourself.
I was looking to double for Jason Statham.
I was going to say Jason Statham.
Brilliant.
I wish I had his six pack instead of my keg.
He could play all three of us.
Yeah, he probably could. I mean, listen, today, Max, I was watching the match and I saw like your fellow countryman, Chris Richards, and I was thinking, Jesus Christ, that's lovely hair that he's got. I mean, I've never had that hair like since ever. I mean,
what a joy it must be to use shampoo and conditioner. I don't remember those days. Those days waved bye to me a long time ago. I spend it all on razor blades and shaving cream now.
Oh yeah, or sun cream for the summer.
Definitely.
Anyway, listen, enough about our bald eggs. Let's talk about the match then. So, Max, we did need to get back to winning ways because although we did have a good period without the AFCON lads, we did get plenty of draws in there. So it was nice to get back to winning ways and maintain our unbeaten home record.
Absolutely. I think our first win since Newcastle. It had been a month. It felt like a long time. Great to see the Stadium of Light being a fortress. I think it's 6 wins and 5 draws this season. How great is that? And how great to see the lads rally around the support at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Pete, all eyes were on the starting lineup. I mean, we were expecting, Traore is injured, so he couldn't come back in. So there was like, who's going to play the right wing? In the end, it was Trey Hume playing the kind of like the hybrid role. He kind of like played right back and then right midfield, didn't he? When we were in our possession, were you a bit surprised that he went a bit defensive at home?
Yeah, well, no, because him and the pair of them down the right, if one goes, the other one sits in, and I think he obviously he got it spot on. We won, but I don't think it was too many surprises because that when we attack so fluidly, if you notice, Alderete and
Mukiele.
Mukiele, when they played together, but when you throw Dan Ballard in there, Mukiele has a free role. And in fact, one of the commentators over here in the US was stating like Mukiele was almost left wing at one time. And they were like, he's everywhere. Well, it gives the freedom of doing that because Ballard and Alderete play so well together. They got caught a couple of times early on in the first half, but, you know, Ronaldo is just lightning fast. And it just allowed us a lot more freedom, and Lafay was everywhere as well. So he does such a good job on the defensive side. I don't think it was a worry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Max, I mean, today was like a potential banana skin, wasn't it? Because Palace must have been itching to put things right after suffering the worst ever FA Cup shock in history, losing to Macclesfield last week. And they certainly started well, didn't they?
They did, and not only had they lost to Macclesfield, the manager Glasner says he's leaving. They're about to sell their captain. A little nervy out. I expected them to come out firing on all cylinders, but we hung in there. We took it at least for the first 30 minutes pretty well.
Yep. No, and then Pete, I mean, Palace did start well. They had a couple of early shots, warning signs there, but Robin Roofs, he's just the best keeper in the Premier League. Like, you can call you David Raya, your Donnarummas, but I think if you look at stats, Robin Roofs is up there.
Oh, absolutely. And even a couple of times he came out to punch, and it was the right thing to do. He's making great decisions. And, you know, he just turned 23 today. 23. That back line has got so much trust in him that we play around the back and use him a lot. And he springs out a pass right or left foot. It's just great because it builds so much confidence.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I was impressed with the first half, especially, Max, was Brian Brobby and his hold-up play. I think he's getting better and stronger every game, but he's not getting any help from the referees, is he not?
My God, it feels like there's a second set of rules for Broby versus other strikers. Did anybody on the field take more physical abuse today? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he just basically got so pissed off that he just decided to rip that Lacroix shirt in the second half, didn't he?
Do you blame him? I wouldn't blame him. Guys, tough as nails. Tough as nails.
I think, Pete, when you're in that situation, like, listen, both strikers are pulling each other's shirts, but, like, it goes further when Lacroix literally grabs his arm and then stops him from moving.
He was just a nuisance today. I mean, when he got the cramp when he scored that a hell of a goal, when he gets the cramp, all the team are over there with him, but he's just a nuisance non-stop, and he creates something that no other striker. And like you said earlier, Lee, he's getting better and better every game. And we're playing into him more, and he just is a beast in the nicest terms because he's so hard to get off the ball, and his confidence is just giving him a lot more. We're seeing a lot more skill from him that I was certainly expecting, but it's probably why they signed him, and he's just grown into games game by game, and it's a huge strength having him as your target player. So different than anything else we have.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, that's why we paid 25 million quid for him, isn't it? So
yeah, it is, and it's starting to be repaid right now. You know.
Yeah, 4 goals. So now he's like joint top scorer with Wilson. Max, it was nice to see Noor Siddiqui back on the Stadium of Light after the AFCON. I mean, he played last week, but to get him at home as well, you can see what he brings to the team. I mean, there were a couple of times when we lost the ball and he was just chasing back and winning the ball in the middle of the pitch, getting his foot stuck in. And that's what we need, because we do get caught on the counters quite a bit, but having his legs and getting back and being able to intercept is a massive plus, isn't it?
Sort of today's unsung hero. I mean, Broby's clearly the man of the match, but he was a real pest in the middle of the field when Palace had the ball, sort of a good defensive presence. And, I mean, let's not forget, he also created the winner that with the ball that was kind of deflected towards Broby's path. So a full, complete performance, if you ask me.
Yep. Pete, in my notes, like I thought I've got written down for the first 25 minutes, I thought it was kind of our build-up play was quite slow. Palace were pressing quite high, low intensity. The similar thing that we've seen in recent games in the first half, but then in the second half we always up our game. What do you put that down to? This kind of low intensity and slow build-up.
Well, I'll make a point first, and then I'll answer your question. We had nearly 60% possession. I think it was 57 or 58%. That's kind of unheard of for us. So it's shown how confident we are in possession of the ball. I mean, Xhaka gave that square ball away early on, which is very un-Xhaka-like, and they nearly scored from it. But, for the most part, there was some play where they were down the right wing, and Lafay, I think Hume and a couple of others were involved. And the commentators over here were like, that's impressive, one-touch football. And to have the possession we had, and then we had 13 shots with, I think, 7 on target, they're figures that we haven't seen, because we've been winning games with 35% possession. And we flip-flopped that today, and we used it so positively. And I think Siddiqui being in, Ronaldo,
Same thing.
Ronaldo.
Same thing.
Ronaldo he called him Ronaldo today on the American broadcast, and he was like, and I wouldn't be out of place saying that, which just shows how well he's playing, But Mundell came on and did a few things. I mean, I think he was lacking the final piece in the final third, but he did some really good things with the ball. It was just his end product, So I just saw so much more positive possession from us. And I think having Siddiqui back in there just allows Lafay to go everywhere, and he covers every blade of grass. So it's just fun to watch when we're playing like that. In the first half, you were right, first 15, 20, we were a little on our heels, but then they interviewed Glasner after the game, and he said he feels abandoned. Well, how does that make his players feel?
Yeah, I heard that.
We just sucked the energy out of them, though. I think every time they got a good run, there was a great save or there was a great tackle, and it just sucked the energy out of them. That's how I saw it, and then we went from strength to strength.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more with that. Max, just before they scored, then Trey Hume missed a header from a corner. He's had a few of those this season, hasn't he? Where he's had good opportunities to score from a header, or he had 2 today as well. One in the second half as well, where he should have kept the shot down. I think he's due a goal, isn't he, Trey Hume? But he is playing well.
I'd hope so. The end product certainly leaving something to be desired, but at the same time, he's not Wilson Isidore. He's not expected to score goals. He had 3 solid looks today, and if obviously 1 or 2 of those goes in, we run away with the game. So hard to slag him off today, because I thought defensively and kind of moving up and down the field, he did well. He was very tidy in possession. But yeah, if there's something to be critical about today, I would say would love to see him work on that end product to try to create and finish some of those goals when he gets good looks.
Right, well, onto the goal then. I'll stay with you, Max, onto the goal. And I'm going to do something a bit different today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen and we're going to watch the goal back. Hopefully you two don't make me take it down. But here is the first goal, if you can see my screen. Turn the volume down. So just from a corner, I think Enzo switches off, doesn't he, Max, at the back post, and just doesn't catch the runner coming in, Pino coming in.
Yeah, he didn't see him. I mean, his back was to Pino, so he didn't know where he was. Everyone kind of slagged off Enzo. That's tough. You slagged off on Roofs for not batting it away. If you look, he's really taking a beating there. I think it's just just kind of bad luck, that goal. I'm not even sure Pino was trying to shoot, to be honest, but as someone said, it doesn't matter. The ball went into the back of the net. So
yeah, it was almost kind of like a Bobby finish, wasn't it? Pete, what's your take on that defending?
Well, I'll go back to what Max said. Roofs was like, there was 3 or 4 players plus our own players, and he couldn't even get a full fist on it. So it kind of just came off his fist and dropped down. And I honestly think Lafay wasn't aware he was there, but you're right, he's turned his back on the play. But he made up for it a couple of minutes later,
Yeah, he certainly did.
It was a lovely finish, deft touch. But I think everyone was you look at the players there and they're just shocked that it went in, and like, where did he come from? So
Yeah.
It was kind of against the run of play. They had one or two corners, but they hadn't really threatened us too much, you know.
Yeah. Could we question like the defenders around Ballard, around Roos, sorry, and like possibly not shielding Roos enough for him to get like a cleaner punch?
Well, we've got big lads. Their lads were bigger.
Yeah.
Honestly,
That's and that's just Richards' hair as well, isn't it? So
yeah. Well, we're all jealous. He's got enough for the three of us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Richards is a strong lad, and you know, both their centre backs got to be 6'3", 6'4". And when you're out muscling Dan Ballard, Roofs, and Alderete, you're an animal. You know what I mean? And they made it hard work. Any corner was tough, so it was always dangerous. And late on, we give a couple of corners away, and I was like, "Oh, what's going to happen?" It was squeaky bum time, you know.
Yeah.
But we grew in confidence as the game went on, so I wasn't overly, you know, I wasn't kind of on eggshells thinking, "Oh, they're going to score here." I was like, "Oh, we're going to get another. We're going to get another." And I just think their lads were strong lads, and so many people are putting so much onto set pieces these days.
Yeah. Well, Max, on 32 minutes on the stream I was watching, the commentators made a point which they said Sunderland have had 0 shots on target after 32 minutes. And then 1 minute later, we probably scored one of our best goals of the season, don't we, really? And here it is.
Great team build up, and great job by Broby to let that one go to Enzo too. We'll see
Yeah,
it, but
it's nice play, isn't it? I mean, there you've got like Xhaka. I think Xhaka plays it into Mukiele, and then Mukiele runs down the line.
Yeah.
And then, Broby just lets it run behind him, kind of shields him. And then Enzo's been getting into that position a lot recently, hasn't he? And he's been clinical, really.
You know, he's shown great character since he missed that PK against Brentford. Easy to put your head down and beat yourself up, but he's really emptying the tank. Is I think Philip West, who, if anyone follows on Twitter, is a great writer about Sunderland, said something about he has this willingness to just empty the tank for every game, and that's what he did today for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pete, I would put that up there. It's probably one of our best 3 goals of the season.
Look at this pass from Xhaka. It puts out 3 players.
Yeah.
And it was just one touch into his path. Mukiele, it was all the way down. So there again, Hume slid in and covered for him. And Broby had the peace of mind to dummy it or just let it go. And Buffet just passed it into the back of the net. I mean, every shot is a pass, whether or not we like it or not. But this ball here, fantastic. 3 of their players are just left floundering. And look, we had Mundell coming in behind. So, you know, the third man run was even there. So things on the training pitch are starting to come into fruition. And the understanding is fantastic. But that pass from Xhaka, I mean,
to see the gap, no, like
3 players,
what a
and
run.
it's right into his path. The timing and the weight of the pass was fantastic. But that's a quality finish at any level.
Yeah. I mean, Max, one of our criticisms of our attacking play this season is that we've always got into good positions, but we've never really picked the right final ball. But that was like nice to see Mukiele look up and actually play the pass into the space rather than into a defender.
Couldn't have been better. Couldn't have been better. Great assist, and Enzo knows that. That's why he goes right over to Nordy to celebrate as hey, that's a heck of a pass.
Yeah. I mean, Pete, I've got that down as like top 3 goals of the season. Obviously, Broby against Tottenham, and I think it was the Nordy goal. I'm not sure if it was against Wolves at home, or it might have been might not been Wolves. I don't know. But when we did like a build up and Xhaka was involved and Hume was involved, and he played a 1-2 with Nordy, I think in terms of like team goals, those are the top 3 that I would pick. And I think we could do a few more.
I think there's probably still better to come, hopefully. But absolutely, look at that build-up. It starts at the back, in, drop it back, out. And so it's kind of like a drill we'd often do is what we call short, long.
Yeah.
So you play it in, drop it back, release it. And that was textbook.
And the thing is that Broby's shielding the ball, while he's shielding because Richards can't get past him. If Richards makes an attempt to get the ball there, he's not going to get past Roy. Roy's going to stand in his way.
No.
He's got no chance.
Well, it's 3v2. It's 3v2 there. I mean, we created great numbers in the box, which we haven't been seeing. And I know it was tough with the AFCON lads gone, but we haven't seen it most of the season. And today, there was just that lift of confidence. And we were getting 3 and 4 players in the box all the time, which is fantastic. And you're right. Look, we got Siddiqui just on the top of the box waiting there if the ball pops out. You know what I mean? So very, very encouraging to see.
Yeah. Max, also the finish, a word on the finish, because some players might just go unblasted. Enzo, calm as you like.
He made it look easy. I think that's a much tougher finish than people think. And not only that, the decision to go near post and not try to angle it wide and go far post, I thought was brilliant. So yeah, he made that look a lot easier than it was.
Yep, absolutely.
Lee, I wonder if he could work with Trey Hume on that.
Possibly. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Right, so then what we had was Mitchell had a header for them after a cross from Mateta, which was quite a good cross. I think he beat Ballard on the right-hand side and he got forward. And then, to be fair, Mateta did score a very good goal. Great finish, but it was offside, luckily for us.
Yeah. Very much so. I mean, it was tough because he read that situation fantastically well, but what a finish. That's a lad playing with some confidence there, but thankfully he was offside and well offside, to be honest, but we didn't know that at the time when it's at full throttle, but to beat Roofs like that, it was a quality finish, but they came back at us a little bit and showed a little bit of fight, but I think 1-1 at the half-time was a fair result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, 1 half-time, fair result, and hopefully we're hoping, as always, that we come out with more intensity, more urgency, and I think we certainly did, didn't we, Max? We came out on the front foot, and it looked to me that we were playing high up the pitch, but Palace also decided to sit back a little bit.
Totally agree. Whatever RLB said at halftime definitely worked. Love the energy that we came out with those first 15 to 20 minutes, and was surprised to see Palace presumably sitting back. Not sure if that was what was intended, but agree with you completely, Lee.
Yep. And then Trey Hume had another header from a Reynaldo cross, which this time it got on target, but it just didn't have the power, did it not, Pete?
No. And again, the commentators picked up on that straight away. But he's getting in those positions, though.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
He's either a right back or a right wing back, as the old term used to be. It's coming back into fashion. But he's getting into some dangerous positions, and people aren't expecting to see him there, opposition, I'm guessing. So, I mean, they'll pick up on it, obviously, because he's got 2 headers there, and he had a shot, inside the 18. Shot's a loose term. But he's getting in those positions, which is great for us. And you mentioned earlier, Lee, it's going to pay off sometime. He's going to hit the back of the net and rip the back of the old onion bag. And just to see the fact that he's got the willingness and the energy to get in there, and he was named Northern Ireland Player of the Year yesterday or a couple of days ago, so it just shows, again, he's still a young lad. You know what I mean? And he's
22, 23, I think, isn't he? Something
yeah,
like that.
Exactly. We've got Roofs. So it's a fine balance,
Yeah. Max, should we have had a penalty for shoving the back on Romain Mundle?
They said VAR looked at that and waved it off, and they did it really quickly. So, of course, being inherently biased, it looked like an absolute shove of the back, no play other than to foul the guy. I still feel like the answer is yes, but if VAR looked at it and waved it off, maybe they saw something I didn't.
Yeah. Pete?
Well, I don't know if you watched the Forest Arsenal game after, and the defender, scooped the ball back with his arm, and even his own manager. So VAR, I'd just get rid of it, to be honest. I think, leave it to but there's so much money in the game now. It's difficult, but we are biased. We are going to, but it was a blatant push. It was just whether or not he made a bit much of it, but that shouldn't come into it. If he's blatantly pushed, it's a penalty. But like Max said, they waved it off so quickly, VAR, So I just don't get it.
I think the thing that frustrates me is that about 2 minutes later, Mundell went charging down, pressing down Adam Wharton, who was like running the ball out for a goal kick, and he goes down with probably less contact than Mundell received, and he gets the foul. Do you know what I mean? And that's the kind of frustrating thing, that if it's an attacker, they never get it, but if it's a defender, and they go down like soft as shite, and then they get a free kick straight away. But Max, do you think if that penalty had been given and then VAR looks at it, we mentioned VAR before, you said that VAR cleared and checked it straight away. But if that gets given and VAR looks at it, they don't overturn that because it's not a clear and obvious error because there is contact.
Right. I totally agree. And, I disagree with Pete in that I think VAR is more helpful than hurtful, but there certainly is a lack of consistency with the way it's used.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of American sports and like how video technology is used in American sports, is it much better? Is it better used in those than soccer, than football?
What do you think, Pete? I honestly don't think so. I mean, we use it now in the NFL games, college games, but I still feel like there are a lot of times where I look at the way VAR looks at it and I'm like, I don't see that at all.
Yeah, I'd agree. And the thing is, like with an American football throw ball, there's a lot more stop starts. So to take a couple of minutes to look at something is not a big deal for American football, and those big lads enjoy the break. For the game of footy, it's so fluent, and if you stop for 3, 4, 5 minutes like they did the other night, I think that Newcastle game, the whole energy goes out of the game and the players cool down too quickly. And it's blinking cold over there right now. So I think for the American games, it's more fitting because of how the game is structured. So, I mean, I forget I just watched the goal zone over here. And several goals, they had to wait. I think it was the West Ham second goal, I think. They just had to wait and wait and wait. And that was going to win the game for them, potentially. And it took them like 3 or 4 minutes to decide if he was offside or not. And thankfully they said he wasn't, and they give the goal. But to me, it just detracts. I mean, the natural celebration and everything just goes out the window.
Yeah, I mean, do you not think, Max, there should be a kind of limit on how long VAR should be used for, like, if in terms of a decision? Because like 6 minutes of the day for the Newcastle goal, I think some people saying on social media, some journalist over here was saying 90 seconds. If you can't make a decision in 90 seconds, then that means you're not sure. So just give the goal.
Completely agree. If you need that much time, then it's not something that you can reverse. You can't be that certain. I think it needs to be clear and obvious, and it needs to be something you can see pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Right then. So, Pete, on to the moment. Brian Brobby's moment. Here we go again with the goal and the link and the video.
I'm impressed with this, Lee. I'm impressed.
All right. Well, hopefully YouTube don't take it down, because I have to edit. I have to edit it again. So anyway, yeah. Here we go from the start. I think it's Xhaka picks it up there. He passes it looks to Reynaldo, is it? And Sadiq drives forward. But again, it's probably getting into that position, isn't it?
Brilliant. I mean, nobody was expecting a shot with the outside of the foot. And it caught the keeper and everybody out. And just a quality finish. I mean, the quickness of thought there. But what a lovely... Like, Xhaka just kind of helped that ball on. And then Sadiq just drove at him. But Robbie had to finish that from a tight angle, top of the 6, over the keeper's head into the far corner with the outside of his foot. Very similar, I think Max said it earlier, very similar to the first goal for them, or their goal. And a quality finish. I mean, stuff we haven't...
How the hell did he do that? How the hell did he do that?
I don't care if it came off his shin or wherever it came from. It went in. That's all that matters.
Like, it defied physics, Lee. Like, as a matter of physics, that shouldn't be possible to take it off the outside of your right foot and somehow get it into the right corner of the net.
Yeah, it's like he was off balance, wasn't he, kind of? But I think he knew, Max, didn't he, that he had to take it first time because he didn't have time to take it.
Right. You could give me 5,000 chances to do the same thing, Lee, and I wouldn't even get close. Stevie Wonder would have a better shot at doing that than I could.
But for me, Pete, the key there is the bulldog attitude of Siddiqui. The way he holds off the player, runs and drives. That's what we need more from, isn't it, from Siddiqui?
Well, we've been missing it. I mean, you put Riggy in there, and he's just been getting brushed off the ball. And it's not that he's not quality enough player to be in there. He's just not strong enough right now against some of these big lads. Siddiqui just, he's been playing the AFCON games, so he's still sharp, and he's slotted straight back in and just driving at players. He was, and you got to love that big smile on his face. But he drove at them. They collapsed around him, and it was 1-on-1 for Robbie, and he took full advantage of it.
Yeah, and he also got some cramp, didn't he, from the finish? Don't think he realised he stretched that far in all his life. But I think
aren't they sponsored by Lucozade? I thought you'd get some electrolytes in them.
But then, Max, in terms of the celebration, obviously he kind of went like that, but then he went down. But then I thought it was hilarious that Mukiele was like stretching his leg for cramp, and he was like this at the same time. One arm stretching the leg, and the other arm's like.
I've never seen a celebration like that in all my years of watching soccer, and I have to be honest. At first, I thought that Brobby went down as part of the celebration, and it wasn't until Mukiele came over to stretch him where I was like, "Oh, Brobby's in legitimate, actual pain, and he is not celebrating, but he's trying to."
Yeah, Pete, we could have killed the game off. I mean, I was kind of fuming that we didn't kill the game off, but Hume had a chance. Again, good build-up play. I think Brobby was involved. It was a long ball from Reynaldo, flick from Mundle, then Brobby played it through to Hume. I think Hume's first touch took him a bit wide, and then you think in that situation, go hard and low. But I think he just kind of.
I was hoping he'd hit it first time, to be honest, because his touch did take him wider and took away his angle. It was a great layoff to him. What I was impressed, going back to Brobby, was even after that cramp, we still got another 15 or 18 minutes out of him. And that's just a mentality thing, and that's phenomenal. Regis Labree's got them so wired and so enjoying what they're doing and working together. But that pass that he laid off to Hume should have hit first time. I think if you ask him again, he will, because that touch takes him even wider. And then, he missed the target. So it's something that it should have been finished off.
Yeah, and then we had a third chance, didn't we? Another chance, Max, in injury time, extra time. Mayenda had one go. Ballard had another go. Then Lafitte shot over the bar. Luckily, we didn't need it. But I think in the second half overall, we did look a lot more in control. And I didn't feel kind of worried or feel that we were in danger of giving them a goal in the second half. I thought we had it in the bag, really.
Yeah, it was nice to see us not sit back and park the bus the last 5-10 minutes and extra time and hoping that we would just hold them off. Mayenda had a good look. That was a heck of a save by Henderson. Let's give credit where it's due. Henderson had a solid day today, and there was nothing he could have done on the 2 goals that I think that he gave up. But he was excellent, and he kept the game from being 3-1 or 4-1. But I agree, it was a comfortable win at the end, and not one of those ones where I was sweating too bad in extra time.
Yep. Well, Pete, that leaves us on 33 points. If we get the table up now, 8th position.
There's no end to your talents, Lee, is there?
I know, and I'm using the mouse pad on the key on the laptop as well. Because so we've moved above the visitors temporarily. Hopefully, Wolves will do us a favour tomorrow. They're in a decent run of form. But Jesus Christ, that top half is very tight, isn't it?
It is. I mean, you go down. I think it's like 17th or 18th, and
16th. Leeds 25. I mean,
yeah, and Leeds are on a roll right now. Yep. Fulham are playing well. Everton have got a tough one tomorrow against Villa. So 33 points at this stage for us is phenomenal. And everyone would have snapped your hand off to have taken that at the beginning of the season. So, the famous 40 points, it's going to be tight right around there. There was a time where when we were drawn at half time, we were down to 12th or 13th for a short wee while based on other results around us. But, it's nip and tuck everywhere. And, City got a draw, Arsenal got a draw today, Liverpool lost, so Chelsea on a bit of resurgence.
Liverpool drew, didn't he? Liverpool drew with Burnley 1-1, didn't they? I think.
Oh,
yeah.
They drew 1-1. That's right.
Yep.
Aye, but 1-0 up, and and I say give it away, but so it's tight. There's some big scoring games. That was fun to watch the Man United game this morning, and them to beat the Citizens. That could have been 3 or 4. So any team on any day, like in this Premier League, can beat anybody.
Yeah, and I mean, Max, next week we've got West Ham away. West Ham had a last-minute win against Tottenham, who are also struggling. But you'd like to think we can go there and try and get a positive result against a team at the bottom of the league.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. They've certainly turned it around a little bit. I think they're still 5 points back from Forest, so they're certainly scraping to try to get out. I think it's a winnable road game for sure compared to, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, etc. Although I suppose we drew at Liverpool. So no, winnable game. I have full faith in this team. And I mean, Lee, pinch me. We're talking about the top half of the table here, 22 games in. Did you in a million years expect this? I didn't. So we're playing with house money right now. I couldn't be happier with how the season's going.
Yeah, there's more chance of me getting hair, mate, than going to Turkey and getting a hair transplant. So, but yeah, and I think the game after, Pete, we've got Burnley as well, so at home. So you'd like to think aim for 6 points in those 2 games, but we'll see. But anyway, listen, lads, we're going to take a very short break, and we'll be back for part 2, where we will discuss the elephant in the room, which is like the transfer window. Now we're going to bring in some new players. We brought in one yesterday, so we'll have a chat about that. So we will see you soon.
Hi, my name is Ekaid. I'm from Bilbao. I've been a fan of Sunderland for 5 years. I am a member of Bilbao Black Cats. How are the lads?
Okay, welcome to part 2 then. So after that victory, we're in 8th place, as we said. Look forward to next week against West Ham. We've got Oxford away in the Cup. But anyway, on to new signings. Pete, yesterday we signed a new player who's going to basically be a nightmare for commentators because they don't know if they're talking about Talby or Tarby.
I just call him JTB. We'll call him JTB.
JTB. Well, because we have signed, he's called Jocelyn Tarby, and he's an Ivorian or Ivory Coast winger. Here's a bit of his highlights reel. We're not going to watch all of it, of course, but from what I've seen of it, Pete, he looks like a very skillful, tricky winger, a bit like in the mold of Ahmad, I would say.
Yeah, it was Ahmad I was thinking of when I watched him. Hopefully he becomes the player Ahmad is, but super skillful. I think obviously just the physicality of the Premier League he's going to have to get used to. But, they do their research and they're bringing him in. Was it Maccabi Tel Aviv, I think?
Yeah.
I know he was out on loan, but they brought him in and they're leaving no stone unturned, super quick, great feet. And I just think that physical side he'll have to get used to. But, he's 20-year-old and a 4.5-year contract. So hopefully he's a steal.
Yeah, I mean, Celtic wanted them as well, but apparently they claim there was medical issues there. Max, it doesn't seem that for the price, 3.5 million, I think that we signed them for, you wouldn't expect them to be going straight into the first team, would you say, or not?
I wouldn't expect it. In fact, I would expect to see him get time with the under-21s to get his feet kind of wet, especially playing in England.
Yeah, but looking at the highlights reel, Max, I mean, it looks like an exciting player, no? Like very fast, tricky, direct, and I think that's something kind of what we're missing on the wings right now, isn't it?
I mean, I don't think we have many needs at all, but if you put a gun to my head, I would have said a creative winger, and this appears to be what we need. So in Christian Speakman, I trust.
Yeah. But anyway, Pete, so we've signed him on a contract. Blondie, the goalkeeper, left. Oh, that was such a tragedy. Do you know, it said he'd been here for 18 months now. I was like, it feels longer, doesn't it?
It does. Like the red-headed stepchild,
Yeah. But as Max said, Pete, I mean, I don't think we need to strengthen too much either, because once we get all the AFCON players back, I mean, Habib's going to be like a new signing, isn't he? Habib Diarra. Talby's going to come back into the left wing. So
Traore is available.
Traore will be 3 or 4 weeks, I think they said. I suppose, I don't know, possibly. We were linked with a centre midfielder, weren't we? We were linked with Guendouzi, who's gone to Fenerbahce. We were linked with Conor Gallagher, who's gone to Tottenham. Do you still think that perhaps we might need a midfielder if, like, Dan Neil allegedly leaves this month? Chris Rigg doesn't seem to be ready just yet.
I don't. I like you've both alluded to. I don't think we have any weaknesses anywhere, to be honest. I mean, every team wants an out-and-out goal scorer, but you look at your Man Uniteds and your Arsenals, and you've signed Gyökeres for like 90 million, and you don't get goals, so it's no guarantee. So with Brobbey, Mayenda and Isidore, we can circulate those through if there's some tiredness, anything like that. And then I just think we've got depth in quality and depth now, where now the AFCON players are back or coming back. So like Max said, I don't think there's much to improve upon. Touch wood, we don't get any injuries. I think Dan Neil needs to go somewhere and get some playing time. I think, when 09 came in against Everton, he didn't look out of place. So he's not the answer, but he's a hell of a backup. And we've got Gertrude still there on the bench. So I really don't think there's other areas we need that cover. I have to be very honest.
Do you think, Max, like the midfield talk has kind of cooled down a bit because of the performances of Gertrude in the games that the AFCON lads were away? He kind of stepped into midfield with Xhaka and he didn't look out of place. Do you think that kind of has been in the thinking that, okay, maybe we don't need a midfielder?
I agree. I think central midfield cover for Xhaka would not hurt, right? I don't think it would hurt to bring in somebody else. That said, I do think, like you said, talk is cooled. And if we didn't bring in a central midfielder backup for Xhaka, I wouldn't complain at all.
Well, another person that we're being linked with again is John Lukumi, the Colombian defender from Udinese. He was desperate for a move, but like Udinese wouldn't sell him. He's been linked again. Max, again, I mean, do we need another left-footed centre-back? Because we got Alderete and he's excelling, isn't he?
He is. He's been a fantastic signing. And what did we sign him for? Was it
12 million euros?
10 or 12?
10 million pounds.
I mean, it's not just that Speakman is signing the right guys. He's signing them at phenomenal bargains, right? 10 to 12 million for Alderete, who's been one of the better defenders in the Premier League. Again, defensive depth wouldn't hurt. I feel the same way about the mids. It wouldn't hurt. Maybe some better cover, some backup. But if we didn't sign anybody, I wouldn't be unhappy with it. We've been talking about Lucemi, for I feel like since last summer. So I'll believe that when we see it. I don't know how much of that is really rumors versus actual legitimate interest. But again, if we bring somebody in, great. If we don't, I won't complain.
Yeah, I think there was like a photograph on social media which said, like, basically for the price we sold Joe Bellingham, we bought Xhaka, Roofs, and Alderete, something like that.
It's a dream. It's a fever dream.
And then if
the other thing is, Lee, if you bring somebody in as a centre back and they don't get playing time, they're not going to be overly happy. So having 09 there, and he just, if you saw him after the game, just grabbing the lads and give them his usual peck on the cheek and just hugging them, he came into that Everton game, and that's Everton have got some great attacking players, and he did a good job. And we got Gertrude that can play centre back as well. So I think we have a lot of options. Sirkin is, I'm sure he's disappointed, but he's not the same player as we have out there. And so we've got cover now in all of the areas. And Gertrude can play that holding mid role or the centre back role. So I think we have a lot of options. I wouldn't be looking elsewhere unless we really had to.
Yeah, and Max, I thought it was interesting today that Romain Mundle went off and Dennis Sirkin was the one who came on left wing. I mean, I don't think he's going to get much game time if Reynildo's fit. But could he be a useful option on that left-hand side, perhaps, if we're kind of like ahead in games and just like defending the lead?
Absolutely. And listen, you never know who's going to get injured, right? I mean, these players are understandably fragile, the beating they put on their bodies. So you could lose Reynildo for a long-term injury, and great, we've got Sirkin in there to plug in the gaps. So agree with you completely. You just never know what can happen.
We were linked with today, Pete. I don't know if you saw this from social media. There was a picture of someone in the supporter in one of the players' box today, and everyone was like saying, "Does anyone know who this is?" And apparently, it's the Swiss winger Ruben Vargas, who plays for Sevilla. Now, at the moment, he's injured. He picked up a thigh injury recently, but he's also obviously a teammate of Xhaka at national level, at country level. Anything perhaps in that, you think, or?
Well, let me throw back to you, Lee. Have you seen him at Sevilla? Have you watched any of the games over there? And
Yeah, I can't watch a full 90 minutes of La Liga match anytime at all. I just like.
no, I did see it on social media actually, and I was thinking maybe Xhaka just to kind of invite him over because he's injured and he he's a national compatriot. I don't know if there's too much to that. I don't know much about him as a player. Conor Gallagher would have been a great addition, but 35 million, that's way more than we're paying for anything right now. So they've got a method and a process right now, and I don't think we need to meddle with that.
Yeah. Well, no, Vargas was actually linked. I saw a post as well that linked him with Leeds around the Christmas time. But he was injured then as well. I think he got injured, came back, and he's got injured again. But yeah, it might just be like that he's visiting Xhaka. I mean, trust me, if you're in Sevilla right now, Sevilla are currently 16th in the Liga, and they're playing on Monday night. They're playing on Monday night as well. So yeah, I imagine that could be what it is. But yeah, I was just bringing up our stats for the season, Pete, and our goal scorers. So you mentioned like we don't really need many players in, but is that lack of goals an issue? Because I'm looking at the goals list now. We've got Brobby's got 4, Isidore's got 4, Lafy 3, Talby 2, Ballard 2, and then you've got all the ones like you've got Adingra, Traore, Xhaka, Mukiele, Mayenda, and Alderete. So the goals are getting spread around, but I think we are one of the lowest scorers, aren't we, in the league?
Yeah, and that's why I thought if there was an out and out true goal scorer, that would help us, because I think if you put a true goal scorer around Brobby, will cause problems. But if you can get goals from your midfield like we have been, we're one of the lowest scoring teams, but we still managed to find a way to get a result out of the games, which we can't argue with. But if we could get some goals out of Siddiqui, that would be useful. I think Traore coming back, and I think it'll come.
Yeah,
Diarra as well. But it's nice if you get some goals from the attacking mids, and Lafay is one of them, and he's got 3. He's right behind our forwards. So we're doing something right, but it's getting us through, and we're scraping through. But like today, if we got 3 or 4, it would have been a convincing win, and you got Trey Hume in those positions. His confidence will grow. But if you have an out-and-out goal scorer, attacking mid, or an out-and-out striker who scores goals, then their confidence is already there. But you're paying arm and a leg for them. So I wouldn't meddle too much with what we're doing, to be honest.
Max, so obviously, I think is it tomorrow night that the AFCON final is? Morocco against Senegal, Talbi versus Diarra. When they come back, would you expect to see them go straight back into the starting 11? Because it's an interesting one. Lafay's been playing more centrally. He's been excelling higher up the pitch, but obviously Diarra is in that midfield 3. So what do? Do we kind of play the midfield solid 3 and then Lafay on the left, or does Diarra have to wait his chance?
I always liked Lafay on the left, and I always felt, especially last year in the championship, there was better gelling and better chemistry on the team when he was on the left than in the center or in the mid. So, yes, I agree. I'd rather see him on the wing if RLB thinks he can make it work.
Yeah. Pete, Diarra, Talby, where do they fit in?
I would bring Talby in, and I would leave Lafay. I think Lafay plays best in his free role, and then he just works his socks off and covers every blade of grass, but he goes everywhere. You'll see him out on the left wing. You'll see him out on the right wing. You'll see him in the forward position. I think Diarra, I hate to say it because he's obviously going to come up on a high, even making the final if they don't win. But I wouldn't take Lafay out of. He's scoring his goals from that central position, and I bring Mundell out and put Talby in there, and I think that would be the only change I would see right now. I mean, I feel for Isidore, but Robbie's just like manhandling players. So, you bring players around him, and then we're going to get more goals.
There's a difference, isn't there? I mean, Isidore cost what, 3.5 million, and Robbie's cost 25. So,
yeah, and that's what you're paying for, and it's starting to come to fruition. Though we're starting to see, like we started with, he's getting better and better every game.
Yeah. I mean, we are not like a Route 1 team, are we not, Max? We're not like back in the Niall Quinn and Kevin Phillips days where it was like long ball. We do actually mix it up. We have got players who can pass in tight spaces and create chances from tight spaces. But to have that option of going long and use Robbie as that outlet is an advantage, isn't it?
He's been a revelation, and I love Wilson Isidore to death, but Robbie's clearly the hotter foot right now. And he can create goals that I think Wilson might not necessarily be able to do because he's just so physical.
Right then, lads. Right, we'll wrap it up there for today. We'll be back, next week. I think I'll be back on Saturday afternoon with Dermot in Madrid because I think it's early kickoff, isn't it, West Ham? Very early kickoff for you guys in the States. But yeah, I think it's like 12:30 in England, so I'll be recording shortly after the game. But anyway, Max, Pete, pleasure as always to have you both on. Looking forward to having you on in the future. How are the lads?
How are the Baldcast?
Yeah. How are the Baldcast? Here we go.
The big beans are on fire.
Right.
Hey, Max, great to chat with you, and congrats on the little one. And the two of them stayed out the whole show. So hey,
they're pulling on my legs right now. You just can't see them. Cheers, guys.
On that
cheers,
note,
lads. All the best. How are the lads?
How are the lads?
How are you?